Hi everyone, welcome back to Henley Outdoors. Today I'm going to give you the top 12 expectations of new features with the new GoPro Hero 12 Black, coming out in September of this year. Now before we continue, I'm basically an expert at this, and so I'm going to give you probably the most accurate expectations versus other YouTubers. They might not be as accurate. They might know better with competition or what other companies do, or some technology parts of it, but I probably would know a little bit better than most. Not the best. And leaks will come out near the end of August. Basically the second half of August, which is August 1st to March. Yeah. Anyway guys, before we continue, make sure you do these things or just smash that subscribe button because we're getting close to 300 subscribers and we would be in the few thousands if YouTube didn't adjust their algorithm, so I'd get less views this year. But now my views are back and I'm doing a little better. So please, hitting that subscribe button will be very helpful. Thank you. Alright, so the plan for today's video is me pretty simple. You know, the introduction, which is basically right now, the top 12 expectations. And I'm gonna go on and talk about what GoPro will probably not, like I'm almost 100% sure they will not add with the GoPro 12, and a list of things I would really want with the GoPro 12. And actually, believe it or not, I'll actually show the percentage of how I've calculated the odds of the GoPro, of GoPro to actually add that to the GoPro 12. Let's go. All right, so the release date for this new action camera is usually in September 15th in this year, 2023, September 15th. Sometimes it's September 20th or September 14th. The GoPro 8 was in October of 2019, which was pretty off, but most likely the GoPro 12 will release September 15th, 2023. And if it releases later, like the 20th, that's a pretty good sign, because, well, it might mean that they need more time to add things, which might mean we might be getting 8K. Alright, but still, if you don't think I'm a valid source, and you think I try and know it all, let me show you this. Well, it turns out I actually do have the GoPro 11, as you can see here, with the Endura battery inside. This is my attachment, I like to use it. Selfie stick. Gotta be careful. So, Temu, basically. There, you get the point. So yeah, I have the GoPro 11. I also have the GoPro Max, the 360 camera. And there are rumors that they might come up with a GoPro Max 2 in 2023. Which if they did, I would get it. And also, yeah, I also have the GoPro 5 Session, Hero 5 Session. Came out like 2015 or 16. Pretty old, right? You basically just get this to control. I rarely use this camera. It's 4K 30 versus 4K 120 and 5.3 60. Oh, and if you still don't think I'm a valid source, then I work for all this myself, and I also have many accessories. These are basically all my accessories. I work for all of these myself. I have some charging stations up in my bedroom, house. And yeah, this is my 11 with the attachment. And then I have 6 or 7, including the one there, Endura batteries, which are basically the pro version of a GoPro battery. It lowers the temperature, and it says it's supposed to last a little longer. And I got some GoPro Max batteries. That already has a battery built into it. I have a head strap, handler, a tool, a lens wipe, which I barely use, lens protectors, custom VHB tape mounts, extendable, mini GoPro screws, wrist strap, charger cords, and charger like areas to put batteries in on the go. I would plug in, and charger pucks to plug into the wall and plug cords in there. I know it doesn't make any sense. And then I also have this chest strap, this like miniature tripod crappy thing that it's not fully set. I don't really like to use it. And I also have this extender I usually use for my Max. But anyway, let's get to what you've been waiting for and get to the GoPro 12 expectations. Alright, so the GoPro 12 will either be kind of a letdown. It won't be as good, like as much as an upgrade we would get with the 11, maybe not as much. It's either that or it's gonna be a big upgrade. We're talking about maybe 8K 30, but I don't really think they'll have that with the GoPro 12. But you know, Wait, where's the expectations? Get to the expectations part. That's what I was about to do. Let's go. Expectations. Alright, so first, to start it off, we're going to talk about megapixels. The GoPro 12 should take 32 megapixels. That is an 85% chance. My reasoning is because from the GoPro 10 to the GoPro 11, it added an extra 4 megapixels. And this time, from the GoPro 11 to the GoPro 12, it's going to be 5, which is not too far off. But most likely, it would be an extra 4 megapixels. Why 32 instead of 31? Well, most YouTubers say, now they used to say like 30, maybe 29, which no, but you know. And then maybe 32, and 33 maybe, and then some people thought 36, and a lot of people said, including me, it'd be nice to see 48 megapixels, maybe 50. But my reasoning is, most YouTubers say 32, and it kind of looks better to put 32. Like 27 looks better. I don't know why they did 23. 25 would have been better. More use better, right? Like 25 out of 100 is quarter, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. What I want 32 megapixels, I would like it. But what I want, just 32 megapixels? My honest answer for this, which I'm going to say this again, I would want 50 megapixels. Kind of because the competition-wise, I think it'd be better for them to upgrade to like $400 with the subscription. Get back up there with more megapixels, so I think 50 would be nice. Plus, that's not too much of a jump. Although 8K is technically considered 33 megapixels. But we won't talk about that. Even though you could still record in 4K and do 48. Or record in 8K and do 200 megapixels, like the Samsung S23 Ultra. I thought Samsung was stupid, like the worst company ever. Not trying to be rude, not trying to be mean, but I thought it was like known as like the crappiest. But they've gotten a lot better, even in 2022. 108 megapixels. All right, so number 2, GP3. That's about a 70% chance. And now, why do I say GP3? With the GoPro 10, they upgraded to the GP2, and they only had the GP2 for the 10 and the 11. Well, the GP3 would allow it to do 8K, 30 frames per second, I believe, and probably 6K, 30 or 60, which we're not going to get into that. Upgrading resolutions and frame rates. There is one frame rate upgrade that I expect, but no other frame rate or resolution upgrade like 6K or 8K or 5.3 120 or 4K 240. We don't think that's true. The reason why I think they had upgraded the GP3 is it's kind of time, and they're not going to probably upgrade that much. My guess is they're going to let us down. They're going to have almost as much upgrades with the GoPro 12 or with the GoPro 11, which I like that amount. Mostly, it added more megapixels, 5.0 hyper smooth, which is a pretty big upgrade, and 12 millimeter lens, which is unbelievably wide, and 10-bit color. HDRs. Yeah, another reason why I think they should upgrade to the GP3, or they probably will, is because marketing. They would say it on their, their intro and ads. I don't think they do really ads anymore. I asked my dad, and he used to see ads with GoPros, but never anymore. So yeah, I think like on their introduction video, usually they do GP2, but now if it's GP3, they could add this cool looking processor futuristic thing to get people want to buy it. That's why I think the GP3 will be the thing with the GoPro 12. All right, so number 3 is what I think is another thing they'll add or upgrade is what I call maximized settings. Now, I kind of just made this up, but it's still a thing. It's not actually exactly what it's called. I guess there's not really a name for it. But things like the last camera might introduce 4K 120, 4K 120, 8-bit color, and like 5.360 and 10-bit color. And maybe the next camera, like for example the 12, might introduce 4K 120 at 10-bit color instead of that 8-bit color. You know what I mean? But what I mean by this is upgrades like the GoPro 11 introduced Hyperview and 10-bit color. But when you record in 4K 120, you do not get that. You get 8-bit color, which is not as good, not as HDR look, not as colorful. And you get 16mm lens, which is called Super View. So they should add Hyperview and 10-bit color to 4K 120, and they should also allow Hyperview 12mm lens, super wide field of view, you know, maximize field of view, with 5.3, 60, 10-bit color. The usual setting I record with, not right now because I'm using my iPad Pro. And I think one thing that will help with this is the GP3 processor. It'll be allowed to do this. And I'm pretty sure you record in 2.7K 240, and the resolution before that is, below that is 1080p 240, which when you record in, let's say, 2.7 240, I think you don't even get 10-bit color, or I think you get wide field of view, just like what, 20mm, 25? It gives you a range. It doesn't give you an exact number. I think they should allow hyper view or super view and 10-bit color with 2.7 240. I'm not that excited for that, but that might be another upgrade. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Oh, my back. Ow. Ow. All right, so for the fourth one, the upgrade is something the GoPro calls hyper smooth. It's a stabilization, and it looks awesome. Even when you're running, it looks crazy. And it's super smooth. It's actually better than Action 3, which Action 3 is a piece of crap if you didn't know. No offense, but offense, I guess, whatever. But I think with the GoPro 11, they have Hyper Smooth 5.0, and they're gonna upgrade to 6.0 with the 12. That's my guess, but many people will say. But with the 10, they upgraded to 4.0, and with the 9, they upgraded to 3.0. With the 8, they upgraded to 2.0. With the 7, I don't even think that it was called 1.0. It's called like Hyper Smooth or stabilization on or off the setting, maybe auto or something. Maybe they added a boost setting as well, so it's like a little better. And they have that with the GoPro 11. I don't really use it, but it's probably ups it to 6.0 or 7.0. They didn't really call it anything. It's just boosted, and you get a slight less field of view and slight lower resolution because it's cropped. And we have about a 90% chance of them upgrading to Hyper Smooth 6.0. All right, for number 5, we're going to talk about GP3. I already said that. Low light. GP3 low light. Using the GP3 processor that we'll get low light. There's a little more to this story. So we have about a 65% chance of this, but low light, we already got low light time lapses. It's called night lapse. It's meant for, at night, and if you use it during the day, it'll look like a white. It'll look like the whole screen will be white, and it won't look so good. And so it's meant for like the dark, and so there's night lapses. You could, like, if you're working at night. But yeah, low light would be a nice new feature for video, because they already have night photos, which are for night, or they're less grainy and they're better for night, and they're night lapses. Because we basically live in a rainforest, if you didn't already notice. Thank God it's still America, though. Yeah, our property is basically a paradise. But for video, they don't already have that yet, do they? The thing is, they used to. So, I used to have a GoPro 8, and I think they got rid of it at the 9 or something, or the 10, but doesn't have with my 11. It's called this low light feature, and it says it lowers the frame rate to, like, when you use 4K 60, it lowers to 4K 240 or something, or no, 4K 24, my bad. I was at an extra 0 there, you don't need to do that. I was gonna say, like, 4K 240, low light, that's better than normal. But it's 4K 24. That's what it used to be. I used to have that, and it wasn't very useful. I used it at Disney when we went there, like in May. And then after that, I got some water in my lens, a whole bunch. And so I was like, yeah, dude, I gotta get the 11. It's just, I'll work until I die, basically, to get that thing. And that's what happened. I got the 11. It's pretty nice, especially when you use it on our property. HDR. But the GoPro 11 does not allow low light, and or low light mode. But the GoPro 12 might. I just thought of this. When you take a photo with your GoPro, with my GoPro 11, or maybe a few GoPros older, night photo, it looks weird, like a low frame rate. It's like, and so I was thinking, what if the GoPro 12 can still support 5.3 60 and maybe 5.3 80, but it doesn't allow that. Maybe it could allow technically, but it doesn't allow that. It supports it, but it doesn't allow it. And then you could still do with the GP3, with the GoPro 12, maybe you might be able to get 5.3 30 frames per second, or 4K 60 instead of 4K 120, or 2.7 120, and maybe if they did 1080p or 480, you might still be able to do 1080p 240, like a frame rate down, like the frame rate right below, with low light. That would be awesome. And there's about a 65% chance of this. It'd be awesome because Apple's already really good at this. It seed better than I could with less graininess and stuff. But except I see in like what, 532 megapixels, and my dad's phone is 12. Oh, but the GoPro 11 is, I told it to turn on, did I? Or to record. I did not tell you to do that, buddy. Yeah, but this thing is not 12, it's 27. So yeah, get roasted. But no offense, he's my fishing buddy. So yeah, I shouldn't be rude to him right now. Yeah, he might be mad at me. But like, get GoPro 11, broski. You got ratioed from 12 megapixels by the GoPro 11, 27 megapixels. Pull up on GoPro and just be like, yo, what y'all doing over there? All right, so for number 6, you should probably speed this up. You guys are probably getting bored, aren't you? Oh, I forgot, but my videos aren't boring, are they? I don't think anyone asked. But, so for number 6, GoPro 12, about 25% less overheating. Now, I already noticed my GoPro does overheat. And they've been overheating since like the 7? And a lot with it, 11 though. And many people are mad. The Action 3 is still stupid, but it's less it overheats a little less. It's the rip-off camera. Yeah, so I think GoPro should do like 20 to 25% less overheating. Still factoring in that it'd probably overheat it even more if it did 8K or 5.3K 60. With the GP3 processor, it could easily process 5.3 60 that I processed in my GP2 in my 11. And so it'd be able to easily process that, and it wouldn't overheat as much. Another YouTuber mentioned that, and I was like, that makes sense. Good job, thanks. Yeah, that makes sense, seriously does. And so yeah, there's a lot of competition. Apple's the king with non-overheating. And so, yeah, do I kind of want this? Not so much. I mean, I can get a little bit less overheating. Maybe just keep it the same amount of overheating. If it would overheat a little bit more with the GoPro 12, like 5% more or 10% more, try and get rid of that. 5 or 10%, keep about the same overheating. Or maybe get rid of it. If it costs the GoPro, like, instead of doing 6K, do overheating, I'd rather not have that. It's not so much of a priority. Man, didn't light. All right, where did Dad put the lighter fluid? Forget that. All right, so for number, 7, there's a full screen theory. There's a theory that they're gonna go do full screens. Now, I'd say there's about a 60% chance of this. So it's kind of like a, iPhone 14 DOE thing here. Here's an example. No, it's not a true example. But you see how there's a little edge, I think, right here. There's also a lens protector on there, so it's actually not cracked right now. Is there a crack you can see on there? There's a little crack on the lens protector. My dad owes me more. And so, yeah, see how it's not full screen? Can you see that, guys? I'm not sure if you can. Cameras pick up reflection and water reflection. Things a little differently. So, yeah, I see this little thing. This is where the red light flashes. Other red light is right here. It looks white right now. But this red light, there's a theory that, all this would be full screen. Right here on this side. And this red light is kind of like Dynamic Island, the iPhone 14. And so it's not so much needed for me, but for other people, it would make sense that they would need a full screen. And many YouTubers agree. All right, so for number 8, we're almost done. There's about 12 total. Maybe 13. No, not 13. All right, so for number 8, there's about 90% chance of this, but they're improved timelapse settings. So under time lapse, there's this, could use time lapse, time warp, star trails, light painting, vehicle lights, or night lapse, which is basically a time lapse for at night. And what they do is, like, they call time lapse 2.0 or 3.0. I think they're on 3.0 for time lapse, and time warp 2.0, time warp 3.0. All right, so for number 9, this is probably one of my most requested. 1080p 480 wide, maybe not 10-bit color. I mean, that'd be pretty nice, but I think that'd be nice for 1080p 480 FPS. That'd be pretty nice. I would like that. Right now it's 1080p 240, but I mean, that's kind of, once you get into 480, once you think it's kind of like a slow-mo camera, pretty close. Not a slow-mo camera. But yeah, you know, you just get a little more slow-mo because they haven't added that in so long. They had 1080p 240 with the GoPro 6 when they introduced the GP1 and the GoPro 6. And I think I just saw something. Just been waiting until I'm done talking. Fixed focal lens. Oh, buddy. Gotta work on this. All right, so the GoPro 11 has this weird issue. So, you know, with the lens, hyperview, it's a little blurry. When you get up close, here's some frog pics. I got in the dark and I got up close to this frog. And I noticed, like, you should stay away or it's gonna look blurry. And I did, and it's still blurry. Happens to me every time I do a close-up. Like, I can't get this close. Sorry. That looks far away. Here. This camera's in zoom in right now. So yeah, I can't even really get that close. I have to stay 8 inches away or maybe even a foot away from something, and maybe it won't that fixed focal lens blurriness thing. Now on to less bugs. And now, they might not mention it. They probably won't actually, believe it or not. But it's about 60% chance. That'd be nice if they had less bugs. Oh, number 11. Yeah, we're going fast now, boys. Not as fast as the M2 processor on this thing. This camera right here. Oh, God, that's far zoomed in. I feel bad for y'all. Anyway, so yeah, the last one. Oh, stats. Like, different stats. Now, I think the GoPro 12 should release the 20th or the 30th. More engineering time, better engineering. Sometimes they're not the best in engineering. And I think they will be a little bit later with this new GoPro. Probably have less things to do. That's the cool thing I like about it. They eliminated everything with the GoPro 11. Like, what can they do now? They can't do much. Or they're not going to do so well. And there's already a lot of competition now. And so they're going to have to do something crazy to really get back up. 8K 30 frames per second with the new GP3. That'd be pretty nice. But we probably won't get that. I would like if they added, or like had better megapixel counts. And if they added like $400, but it's not. And the GoPro stats, I'm going to let you guys know that it will actually probably release in. And I'm about 80% sure of this. 85, 90. They release September 15th, 2023. It will cost about $350 with the subscription, and without it, it'd be $500 to $550. Sometimes it moves around. See, if you don't believe I live in a paradise, check this out. This is what I get to see on my daily walks. Is there another one? Look at this beauty here. Look at this place. I even saw him eating yesterday. Like, same frog. Look how close I can get to him. Look how good that looks. Broskies. His face. It's right there. He's gonna jump. Boom, he's gone. I live in a paradise. Now I just wait for the GoPro 12. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you.